point. I'll get rid of that one. I'll just copy and paste over everything.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the LWYS show, a weekly video game podcast where we get together and talk about, you guessed it, video games. My name is Wiley Olmstead, and this week I am joined by Kenny Castro,
How's it going, guys?
Anthony Duarte,
I live in the dark. Blah.
and you can't see him, I don't think, but you might hear him from time to time, Mr. Tyler Hadley.
Ooga booga booga booga. You can see me. But no, you can't see me. I'm sorry, I lied.
He's actually behind me right now.
Oh.
So, a lot to get to this week. We had a PS5 and Xbox Series X pre-orders go live, and it all went perfectly smoothly, of course, as well as the massive news that Microsoft has purchased ZeniMax, aka Bethesda, for 7.5 billion buckaroonies. So, big sort of industry-shaking news, as well as the games that we've been playing. I'm really into Hades, as are so many other folks that recently was released on the Switch. We got some Kingdoms of Amalur to talk about. That came out. Re-Reckoning, another silly remastered name. Not quite as bad as remastered, but it's there. It's getting there. But before we do that, let's chat with each other. And first, before we get into that, actually, below there is the information you need to join our Discord, which has been alive and better than ever lately. If you want to squad up for something, just chat, ask us questions, be featured on the show. Just join, and we will welcome you with open arms. So, guys, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty
Good.
good. Doing pretty good.
Yeah. So we all went over to Tyler's, had an outdoor gathering, did some grilling. It was great to see everybody in person for the first time in
I know.
quite a while.
I know it's been.
Yeah,
I feel like it has been a while for you.
Yeah.
I've seen Kenny a few times. Anthony, even fewer times, and you even fewer times than that. So
Yeah, it goes down the list.
Yep.
Gives me
Well,
our quota.
thank you for providing the delicious barbecue.
Yeah, that was tight.
The jerk wings in particular hit the spot.
that was my pleasure. Love to do it.
Cool. Well, what else has been going on? Any other highlights from your week you'd like to mention on the show before we get into the games?
I sent you guys some pictures of some backyard work in the Discord. I just got a new some decking put in around my gazebo. So that's a big thing for me.
That's pretty good. Adding value to that home. That's what you're all about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks good. I was surprised when we went out when I got to your house last weekend, and it showed up and there's a new overhang. I was like, I don't remember that being here, but it's also dark, so I could be seeing things.
Right.
But it was real.
What about you, Kenny? How things over in Springfield?
Everything has been good. Has been good. If we're gonna talk any big highlights for me, it's gonna be something that we're gonna touch upon shortly. It's one of the big topics of the week. But I got my Xbox pre-order.
Yeah.
Woo!
Success. Mission accomplished. Kenny got the Series X. Tyler got the PS5 lined up, despite many people, including myself, not being able to procure one. I didn't try very hard with the Series X because I'm not 100% sure that I'm a day one buy on that. But PS5, I was definitely in there. Had it in the cart. Tried the refresh thing about 100 times, but no luck. So I'm wondering if we're gonna get some more news about when we get our second chance. How about you, Anthony? I know that you're obsessed with Nexomon. Any other things going on in your neck of the woods?
Not really. I'm trying to think. I didn't get any new amiibos. I don't know. I didn't poop my pants, so that's pretty good. I count that as a win usually over the weeks.
Definitely always
Uh,
win.
Nothing. I've just been hanging and drawing, trying to figure out where to go next. But doing
So
good.
I feel at one point you had all the amiibos. That's
I
no longer
wish.
the case.
No, I wish. Brandon did. He had like all of them that had released, and then they kept coming out in waves.
Right. It's hard to keep up for sure. So what's their top 3 most pined after amiibos?
Oof, I would say I haven't been up on the game recently, but I know the original first print Animal Crossing Villager. I know that was a big one for a long time. It might still be. Isabel's still pretty rough. She's trying to get trans on, I believe. Last time I checked, she's like 30 something bucks. And there's another one that I was looking at that I wanted, but I couldn't get because it was stupid expensive. They just released the Champions amiibos for Breath of the Wild again.
I
think
saw
those
those
are
look
coming out
pretty
again.
nice. And those are kind of like a little bit bigger than normal ones, right?
Yep. They're
Cool.
no, I think they're the regular size. The Guardian is like a big one. It's like the Detective Pikachu amiibo. It's like huge.
Ooh,
It's like
okay.
real big.
Gotcha. Glad I
Yeah.
never got down that rabbit hole, but I don't blame you.
Yeah, no, I kind of try to rationalize this with myself, saying, "Oh, I can use them in Smash Bros. Or something." Never do. Always just on the shelf.
Word. Well, let's see. I'm thinking about my week, and I guess going up to Tyler's was definitely up there. Saying on the pre-show, we were just chatting that my roommate made some really killer New Mexican stew using
Ooh.
chilies actually from out there that a friend sent them. That was like super legit and very spicy and intense, but yeah, paying the price for it a little bit today, but it was definitely worth it.
Nice.
All right, let's get into the news, y'all, or at least the topic of the show this week, which is Microsoft purchasing ZeniMax, the corporation that owns Bethesda as well as a slew of other studios for $7.5 billion. Before we get into it, why don't I just read a little bit from the story on IGN. Announced by head of Xbox Phil Spencer in an Xbox Wire post today, Microsoft will acquire ZeniMax for $7.5 billion, 3 times the $2.5 billion it paid for Mojang and Minecraft in 2014. And the formal purchase is expected to close in the second half of 2021. The deal includes ZeniMax Media as a whole, Bethesda Softworks, Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arcane, Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog, and Roadhouse Studios. In a blog post, Bethesda's Pete Hines said, "We're still working on the same games we were yesterday, made by the studios we've worked with for years, and those games will be published by us. The move," Hines explained, "is because Microsoft has access to the resource that will make us a better publisher and developer." So what do we think, guys? This is obviously the biggest acquisition news that has come out in any sort of the gamer sphere in years. Kenny, as being an Xbox first player, I'm sure you're stoked. Why was this a good or a bad, or what do you think of this move?
I think it was huge. I say it was a big game changer for them. They announced it yesterday, and I think it led to the insanity today of the pre-orders. Because we're talking about major titles, and if you really look at some of the people's reactions to this announcement, everybody's hoping that we will get the Fallout New Vegas 2 announcement at some point in time. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's definitely been something people have been trying to connect the dots, saying, "Oh, it's now possible." And I think even um, what's the studio? Geez, uh,
Obsidian.
Obsidian. Thank you. They said that they like gave the shrug emoji when they were
Yep.
like, "Is Fallout 2 going to happen?" And that would be great. I mean, Fallout New Vegas too, but they're working on Avowed, right? And that's
Yep.
got a couple years off, so we're talking way down the line. They can get to another Fallout, and they just put out DLC for geez, I'm losing my words today.
The DLC for Outer Worlds, and they're also working on Grounded as well. So they have 3 titles that, they're really supporting.
True.
Wow.
And but I could also see it where, like, they could maybe start kind of make a third studio, a third studio that combines workers from both studios that ends
Hmm.
up working on this Fallout New Vegas too, you know?
That would be cool, but not only are they getting Fallout, they're hypothetically getting exclusive access, or they can do whatever they want with the Elder Scrolls, Wolfenstein, Doom, Dishonored, all these big name franchises, and it remains to be seen what they're going to do as far as keeping them exclusive or not. Phil Spencer said it would be on a case by case basis. They are honoring the exclusivity deals that Sony had in regards to Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, so those will still be coming to PS5, Xbox at a later date. It would be my guess. Um, Anthony, you want to weigh in here at all?
It's really hard for me, at least, because I kind of felt like I was very like I'm really stoked about all the hype, and I'm glad the gaming industry and console sales are still like it's a big thing now when new consoles are released, and people still get really hyped for it. But it's just, I was even like now I do love like the occasional like game will stick with me and I'll hit it. It's usually some kind of dumb like turn your brain off or like something to kind of chill when I'm not drawing or doing something else. So it's kind of hard for me to get really super invested into like, well, I'm gonna maybe like drop the money to pre-order an Xbox or a PS5. I think if anything, I might have. I'm probably gonna lean towards the PS5 over the Xbox just because one, I think I have more of a library there that appeals to me. Um, and also, I think I'm just might wait. I feel like it's also not a bad idea to wait maybe like a year for these consoles
Gotcha.
to be out and kind of work the kinks out. But that's
So
just me.
so I wanted to say before we move on, Wiley, I wanted to know what your thoughts was, right? So picture this. The picture what my biggest thing that came to mind, right? Especially after they said we're gonna honor these exclusivities on PlayStation. Picture this. You throw on Ghostwire Tokyo, right? Into your PS5. It's loading up. It's starting up, right? And first thing you see is Microsoft Studios.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
wild. I guess you probably see that when you boot up Minecraft on whatever, but that's a funny point, Kenny, for sure.
I was like,
um,
oh,
so I think this is a smart move for them. I think that it's a good fit. I mean, Xbox has always been sort of I associated the 360 much more so with Fallout and Skyrim than I did the PS3. I think they ran better on them. They've always been sort of first-person shooter centric, and I think it's just kind of it fits well. Like as far as massive billion-dollar purchases they could go after, it makes more sense than it does if they were to get an EA or an Ubisoft. I think that the pedigree that Bethesda has with some of its most classic games, of course, Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas, um, more recent years Doom, can really add a huge bolster to their first party lineup, and go toe to toe with Sony, which of course they were far outclassed this generation
Picture
as
this.
far as first party.
Picture this.
um, so yeah, I mean, what do you think, Kenny, about the chances that these games are going to be released on the PS5, or whether or not they're just going to be, you know, I got the list right here. Wolfenstein, Evil Within, which who knows, maybe that's done. But Starfield, are those going to be exclusive to Xbox?
Um, I'd say timed exclusivity.
Mm.
Let's say they'll release on Xbox so that at first people can take advantage of their Game Pass, subscriptions. And that'll be on PC and PC Game Pass as well. Um, but I don't think they'll hold back and they know there's gonna be people that aren't just gonna come over just because of these games and they would love for these games to come to the PS5. It's money they're leaving at on the table. So why not? Why not drop it after a year onto the PS5, you know?
I guess so. I hadn't actually considered timed exclusivity. I don't know why, but I guess part of me is thinking, with Minecraft, that I think that would have been such a mean-spirited thing to make that exclusive because people of all ages play that on all types of different devices. Not so with, the more hardcore, not that Minecraft's not hardcore, but with things like Doom and Elder Scrolls Online, and you could see, there is precedent for those type of things becoming exclusive after they've been multi-platform. So I think it's going to be super interesting to see. Like, PS5 Skyrim could potentially sell 10 million copies. Does it make sense for them to,
To leave that money off the table, right?
exactly, yeah.
And honestly, if you really look at the track record, Xbox has been playing a little been starting this relationship with Nintendo. They brought over Cuphead, Minecraft already on Nintendo, things like that. So
Hmm.
I foresee them still being real playing real nice with Nintendo. Um, and truly, I think that if they're true to their word about, they're not in a console war or console competition anymore with anyone, then I don't see really exclusivities being happening too much with these like Bethesda games, like major titles. You'll see them on all consoles.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's going to be super interesting to see. So let's move on to sort of part two of the big stuff that happened this week. PS5 pre-orders went live a day before Sony said that they were supposed to. It was a major scramble for gamers everywhere trying to get one. And Sony actually came out on their Twitter, gave an apology, said, we messed up. Things could have been smoother. We'll be in contact with you more about ways that you can, get what you're looking for, which is pretty rare for them. What did you think of that whole mess, Kenny?
Um, you know, I felt like it was a drop of the ball. I also think I've been too hard on Sony. You know, it's new consoles. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be insane. And looking back on really some of the stuff I did write in our private chat.
Hmm.
It was kind of a lot of it was out of their hands. Also, yeah, they practically shadow dropped the pre-order, but other retailers, it was one retailer that came out the gate, opened it up right beforehand, and then everybody followed suit, like almost in like waves, and started
I didn't
opening
know
up
that. Do you know
pre-orders.
who?
If I'm correct, it was Walmart that went live first. Walmart went live first, and that just created a mad dash. Like, I think Amazon went live, Target. Everybody's just started going to the
Wh-
point where, like, Target had, like, issues with pricing. Like, people were pre-ordering, PS5 controllers for 99 cents. Like,
Whoa.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow, wild. Yeah, I had the PS5 in my cart on Best Buy. I already said this earlier in the show, but no luck there. Um, and Tyler, you actually successfully did get a PS5. Why don't you tell me how that was? You ordered it straight from Sony, is that right? Right, based on their previous activities and PlayStation history, it was very oddly worded. Kenny was chosen, even though he's an Xbox fanboy. It's like, what's up with that? I didn't not apply, and it was just me dropping the ball. I was like, I'll be able to get one. I'll be able to get one somewhere.
Mm.
And hmm. Oh right, remember I was hesitant because we game share. Sorry for keep interrupting you.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
financially responsible, which is good. But you gotta treat yourself sometimes.
Mm,
That's
Cool.
crazy.
You get any periphery like extra controllers, 3D audio headset, anything like that? Yeah. Any games? Gotcha.
What games are up
Cool.
for
Well,
pre-order? Are there? Ooh.
NBA 2K21. Yeah, I definitely saw a few of them. Some of them are $60, some of them are $70. But they're out there. And I'm glad that at least two of our crew was able to get these next gen machines.
We got our in.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Tyler? Okay.
It's
Well,
okay.
guys, why don't we get into what we've been playing this week? I have been all about Hades, but I want to give somebody else the floor to start. Kenny, you picked up the remaster of Kingdoms of Amalur,
Yep.
and
Oh, I just realized.
this a game that you played back in the day?
I actually picked this up like I do most games. I pick it up and sometimes they end up on my backlog. I picked this
Hmm.
up on the 360. Enjoyed the first couple hours of it. One of the things I really enjoyed about this game the first time around was the kill animations. Like you could go into your awakening mode, I think it's called, and pull off like some really nice kill animations that end up, if all the other enemies are kind of staggered also, it just kills them all at once and gives you like a depending on your button tapping, you could get 25, 50, or 75 or up to 100% extra experience points for that quick battle right there.
That's
Huh.
Um
awesome.
yeah, so it has that interesting thing. And it was a game that just caught me by surprise the first time around. I was like, wow, studio founded by Kurt Schilling. It brought in heavyweights from all over the landscape, right? Todd McFarlane, um, you know, creator of Spawn,
Hmm.
was involved with the writing and just kind of just some of the character designs. You also had people that worked behind some of the Morrowind and Oblivion, working on this title. So they had heavyweights from all over the place. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, there was at one point in time when this game first came out, they had like a big, like almost like as thick as Skyrim's, walkthrough for like the lore of this game that
Yeah.
you could have bought.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So
they
yeah, definitely. Like it was a game. It was a cult hit because like I don't think it was commercially as successful as it was like imagined to be, but it had legs and people continued to kind of talk about it for years to come. Hence the re-reckoning.
Yep.
So if people don't know, the first game came out in 2012, had a lot of hype, like Kenny was describing, and it's a third-person action RPG with some like there's some choice in the dialogue, right?
Yes. Choice
Okay.
and dialogue. Also, they have a very hybrid sense of how you could create your character and how to set them up. Like you could start the game off as as a warrior, you know, assassin or sorcerer, and then you could kind of start becoming these hybrids with be hybrid sorcerer warrior. Warrior assassin, they have so many hybrid classes that it makes it interesting. It all depends on what style you want to go with and how you want to go.
So what
Um
are you focusing on?
I'm a sorcerer, I'm a mage right now.
Nice. Are
Um
you hybrided in any spots, or are you just straight up like casting?
right now I'm straight up casting. I think late game I might go hybrid. I am actually aiming for right now because it feels as though the magic does the most damage out of
Mhm.
anything, right? It might just be because of what I'm spec'd out as, but Magic is huge, right, so far for me. But a late game, I wanna go with a hybrid between there's a hybrid late game that you can get that is all 3 classes in one.
I think I remember seeing that back when I played, because I remember being super into it in like 2012, the 360 version. I was like, this is like your Fable was really good.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of that's a good way to good thing to compare it to. Definitely similar sort of aesthetic and vibe.
The biggest thing I remember is that from the opening, like one of the little dwarves that's talking, because you're getting like you kind of start off. It's a hybrid, like almost Dark Souls, right, Kenny? Like where you're a dead body and you get like reanimated.
Reanimated. Yep.
And one of the dudes, the voice actors that voices Cat Dog, he voices Cat, is like one of the little gnome guys in the beginning. And I always remember being like, oh, I know that guy.
Cool. So any interest in picking this one up for you, Anthony?
Oh yeah, I told Kenny I was actually gonna pick it up last Friday. Totally forgot.
And
I do want to play it.
I think what
Cool.
sold me wildly about picking it up was when I read that they are actually coming out with an expansion to the game in the springtime.
Oh
That's
wow.
sick.
So it wasn't just a remaster, they're actually adding on to the game.
That's very cool. I want makes me gives me high hopes for Tony Hawk 3 DLC in the THPS 1 and 2 collection.
That'd be sick.
Um neat. Well, sounds like you're enjoying your early hours in it. Is that fair to gauge?
Yes, yes, definitely fair to say.
Nice. All right, y'all. Well, this game came out kind of out of nowhere on Switch, or at least I wasn't following it. Hades been on early access in the Epic Game Store for uh, over a year, almost 2 years, I believe. And now version 1.0 is out. You can get it on PC as well as Switch right now. No PS4 or Xbox, but it's awesome. It's real good. It's a genre that I don't typically enjoy, but it's a genre that I say typically will frustrate me and not make me want to keep playing because I keep dying. It's a roguelite. There's certainly a progression of the story and your character as you are continuing to die. But it's from Supergiant, developers of Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre. It's their fourth game, and I think it's after my 7 or 8 hours with it this week, I think it's their best. Even though I loved Pyre, it's one of my favorite games of the year it came out. Um, it has a really special, um, just personality to it. It's Greek lore, like it's you play as the son of Hades, or yeah, the son of Hades. You're trying to escape the underworld. You're getting assisted with boons, they call them, but they're perks from the gods of Olympus. Like and they've got so much personality. Like Dionysus, the god of wine. I don't know if I maybe mispronounced that, but or who else? Hermes or Poseidon or Zeus. They're having conversations with you and like boosting you with like Zeus will give you thunder powers, or Ares will give you more, warlike fiery powers, and um, it's just really good, man. Like, what do you guys want to know about it?
I had something I was going to ask you the other day. I totally forgot because I was looking at it at the Switch shop, like I was telling you, because you gave me the good sales pitch on Saturday night, and I was like, I definitely think I want to pick it up. Plus, it's like what, like it's $5 off right now, so it's only $20 as opposed to 25.
Yeah, as opposed to 25. I don't know how much longer that's going on, but I'd recommend jumping on it because it's selling really well. I think they tweeted out that it's now sold over 1 million copies, which is
Wow.
huge in its first week. So,
Like, how's the combat? Yeah.
I mean, the combat, like there's a primary weapon. My favorite so far is the spear, which you can throw and return back to you, kind of like the Leviathan axe in God of War. It's got a ton of range, high damage, and you've got your light attack, your heavy attack, your dash attack, as well as maybe a unique move to it. Very easy to pick up and try a new weapon because they all have the same input commands. Other weapons that you can choose, which you unlock pretty steadily. I now have 5 out of 6 in the game, which with my limited time with it. There's a bow and arrow that's pretty neat. My second favorite is probably like a Captain America style shield that you throw around, bounces off walls. There's sort of monk-like gloves that you unlock. Sort of, yeah, think I'm just thinking the monk in Diablo. So like the combat, it's isometric, so it sort of has that Diablo vibe, but it's like, think of if Diablo was like perfectly tuned for single player. That's what this game is. And it's got a much more engaging story. And well, to me personally, I think that there's a lot of charm in the writing, and the color palette's really nice. As you're progressing throughout the levels, the very, very significant changes in terms of visuals. So pretty much it's
Yeah, I'm looking at some footage that I have up right now, and so it is pretty much just kind of like a room by room like arena kind of brawler where it's just throwing enemies at you and you have to kill them all.
Yeah, that's the gameplay pretty much. There's no puzzles, there's no like that really. There's when you get back to your home base, that's when it kind of can break up a little bit. You're talking to some folks. You can decorate your room by purchasing little upgrades. So there's reasons to, they do such an excellent way of making you feel like you're progressing in a myriad of ways, whether it's encountering certain enemies levels this up, or getting a certain amount of this material allows you to purchase a wishing well for your room where you can see how many times you've tried to escape, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. I like anything that has a little home base customization, especially when you're doing anything that also levels you up.
Yeah, so as y'all can tell, I'm glowing about it. So I'd highly recommend people check it out. Hope you guys do, so we can talk about it as a group next week.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up.
Anthony, you've been pretty into this Pokemon clone Nexamon.
Oh yeah.
Anything new to say about it, or is it just scratching that itch for you?
It's been really good. I've got so far my Nexopedia is what they call it. I thought it was like a Nexodex, but I was like, I guess that'd be too similar. I got 100. I think I'm up to like 107 now out of 381 little mons. And it's been cool because the way you progress to it, it's got like that. People for years have been like, "Oh, Pokemon have a dark and gritty story," and it's like, it's all well and good because Pokemon's story has usually been for kids or not really there. This one kind of has. It's not really a great story, but it's different. Some of the writing's okay. It's either hit or miss. Sometimes it's kind of cringy, but you go through the story, and as you go, you actually get like different elemental powers to kind of get around different obstacles because it's like a top-down Pokemon style game. But it's cool because instead of like HMs or anything, I just got a fire power thing that lets me like burn like little grass or melt ice on the map, and if I walk on like this little square with like the elemental symbol, so I thought that was pretty neat.
Neat.
Yeah, it's just been it's like comfort food. It's like I'm just having a bloomin' onion every time I sit down. And I'm like, oh, so good.
That's put that on the back of the box,
And
Anthony.
it's like a bloomin' onion.
I just some of these designs. So I just pulled up a page that has the Nexopedia on it.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
why I
just
go, because I'm like, the way I raise my monsters, I'm like, oh, what do I want to catch? Okay, I want to catch this one. Does it evolve into anything cool?
I'm looking at this like mushroom one, Shromporo. It's just like
Yeah,
it's got like
it's a
two.
log.
It's got two big eyes with like a smiley face, and its evolution is like a bigger mushroom with two big eyes and a smiley face, and its final evolution is like two angry eyes with a frowny face.
Yeah, it's some of them are just really weird like that. Like I saw that one and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, it's a little bit better than the mushroom one from like Black and White, from Pokemon Black and White. But I had a little I ran into this little like bear guy. He's like, I think his name's like Tantrunt or something like that. And he's just this little bear who's like half brown and red. And he's just like all angry, and he evolves into this like super jacked. Like imagine if Bowser was like a teddy bear. He's like a big Bowser bear.
It looks pretty solid, and it's only $10 on Steam. It's probably the same price on Switch. Anthony had to get the physical, so it's an easy entry. And I'm looking at the reviews on Steam. Looks very positive. So if you're interested in Pokemon type stuff, check out Nexamon.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anybody else have any games they want to mention? I know there's not our usual, 5 or 6 games that we have to talk about, but that's okay.
Ooh.
Not so much. Not so much. All right. Going once, going twice.
And it's gone.
Okay, so we got a question from one of our listeners/viewers at Golden Age Retriever. Do you prefer 2D or 3D Mario? And what is your favorite game of each?
Ooh.
I want all three of y'all to chime in here. I know Kenny, you said you're not a big Nintendo guy, so you can be excused if you'd like to be.
I think I gotta go with 3D Mario. I mean, Super Mario 64 kind of started it all, and I mean there have been plenty of 3D Marios that I haven't played, but I mean I love Super Mario Sunshine. I never really got into like the Mario Galaxy or 3D World, but then Odyssey came around and I was in love with that. I mean I just think they're better than the 2D Marios. Or maybe they're not better, but I prefer them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Anthony?
I'm a big stupid dumb idiot. The games I've been playing, I got the Mario All Stars collection on Friday. I can't believe I just like forgot about that. But yeah, it's been great. I've actually get to play Sunshine. I started Sunshine. I never played it growing up. I started it maybe like 3 years ago. I got to like maybe 10 Shine Sprites and just kind of stopped. But I picked it back up on Friday and I got like, I think I'm already up to like 20 something Shine Sprites, and it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun.
You liking that flood?
I'm liking the flood. It's been fun. I can't wait till I get the little jet nozzle thing, because I only have I've like played with the rocket one where you have to like wait and you just shoot up, and I was like, oh, but you don't have any control.
Yeah. That's
and
dope.
then the one I want to try out is like the little jet one where you're like running along the water.
Oh yeah,
Really sweet.
man, I haven't thought about that in 15 years.
Yeah, it's cool going around like getting all the blue coins. Like I didn't know you needed like 10 of them. I guess if you get 10 of them, you go to this little hut and you talk to these little raccoon guys, these tanuki dudes, and they'll sell you a Shine Sprite for every like 10 blue coins you give them.
Oh yep.
Tyler, you didn't actually say what your favorite 3D Mario was.
Yeah.
I mean,
What is it?
Odyssey. Gotta go Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Odyssey's
Fair
the
enough.
one.
So for me, this was a very difficult choice. I'm a big fan of many games in each 2D and 3D. But I got to go with 3D just for the one gripe that I have with the 2D games is how dependent they are on holding down the run button. I think that is a little bit annoying. I love Mario Maker 2. I love Super Mario Bros. 3. That's my favorite of the 2D ones. It just overtook Mario World for me after I replayed it last year. But personally, I got to give it to 3D just because I grew up with 3D platformers. My first game was Crash Bandicoot. Second system was N64. So, I had to go back and learn how to play the 2D platformers. And I'm better at 3D ones. I'm pretty good at some 2D ones like Rayman Legends that I put enough time into, but I'm just more comfortable in that space. And I've beaten every 3D Mario as far as I can. Oh, except for Mario 64. That one I had not beaten. but my favorite, and I say this with some trepidation because it's also the most recent, but it's Mario Odyssey. Like I really think Mario Odyssey was fantastic,
Yeah.
and I had so much fun. I just remember saying to myself as I was playing it, this is my favorite Nintendo game ever.
Mhm.
And looking back on it, I don't know if I feel that strongly about it, but that's what I was saying to myself at the time. I feel like I wanted myself to remember that. So
It's
maybe
really good. Like as far as Mario's go, I remember being really upset when transitioning from Mario 64, like going to, I think the next big 3D Mario I played after 64 was Galaxy. When I started playing Galaxy. In Galaxy, you don't have like a punch or a kick. You're very dependent on, you have to like wiggle the joystick or wiggle the Wiimote, and Mario does like a little spin. And that's your only form of like attack aside from jumping on an enemy. But you have to wait. There's like, I think maybe a second and a half cooldown for you to spin again, so you can easily just get like booted back or like hurt. And I think you only have three times you can get hit in Galaxy. But I remember being like, oh, I don't like that. And then in Odyssey, you have the hat throw, which I felt was awesome. Even though you didn't really have like a punch or a kick, the hat, to me at least, felt like as satisfying, if not a little more, than like a punch or a kick or something. Because there's a lot of ways you could use that.
Yeah, the hat was a great feature, to kind of turn Mario into Kirby, being able to absorb other people's or other enemies' movements and abilities. So creative. Really just I should go back and get those other 300 moons.
You
Yeah.
should. Did you have your Dark Side of the Moon?
And I would just add
I
that
did do that. I did do that. It was excruciating. The Darker Side of the Moon level. Oh my
Oh yeah,
god.
those are so tough.
It did not look fun.
It was so hard. I think I was on vacation in Texas, and one day, like from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., I was just sitting in my room trying to beat that one level. And when I finally came out, I was like, told all my friends that I was with, like, I'm free. Okay, let's go do something.
I gotta get this shit done. I
Yeah.
hate that. I get the same way with certain things, and it just fucking haunts you for like the rest of the day if you don't finish it. You're like, I gotta go back and do that.
Yeah, I would just add too that a contender for like one of my favorite Mario games has to be Yoshi's Island. I mean, that is probably by far my favorite 2D Mario game.
See, that's
you're
one I slept on too.
That's Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Okay, not Yoshi. I for some reason get Yoshi's Story and that mixed up in my mind, which is a silly thing to do. Yeah, that's a great game. I think I played it when the SNES Classic came out. That was like the only one that I actually played to completion, and it's just so good looking. Like just the art style really of a children's book coming to life, and
all the crayon. I love the crayon outlines to everything.
Yep.
Sort of the precursor to a lot of future Nintendo games like Kirby's Epic Yarn and Yoshi's Woolly World, and just Nintendo doing really cool things as far as Paper Mario, which is experience. You know
if
what I'm
only
saying?
they'd make a good. If only they'd make a good one now. They have Paper Mario 1, Thousand Year Door.
And I wasn't even to be honest, I wasn't even like thinking of Paper Mario. I was just like, so what would you consider that a 2D Mario?
The newer ones. I mean,
it's neither. It's neither. it's its own thing. Like I wouldn't consider. Yeah.
Because I think
give that new one a shot, dude.
What about Super Mario RPG? Would you put that in the same category as 2D Mario?
No. Well, I mean, it uses the same. What is it? It uses the Donkey Kong Country thing, where it's like the rastering or whatever. I forget, but I don't know. Maybe that would be my favorite 2D sprite based.
No, dude.
You could say.
He's referring to the games where you jump and you jump
shoot.
over stuff.
Oh, it's Mega Man.
Yeah.
Tyler's trying to stretch the meaning of the word 2D. Oh,
hey.
2D. What were you gonna say before that though, Wiley?
I was gonna say that people are really positive about Paper Mario and whatever the new one's called, the Origami King, and you're just like, no, I don't level up. The game must suck.
Yeah, it must. I'm sure. I've heard the writing is really good, but I mean, it just doesn't interest me. I just don't. I mean, I'd rather just go back, and I never beat Thousand Year Door, so I feel like I should go back and beat that before I get that.
If I see that on sale for $40, I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
I might just do a Let's Play on Origami King.
That'd be sweet. I didn't know you had it.
Oh yeah, you have it, Kenny, right?
Yeah, I haven't popped it in yet.
If you do, let me know how much it sucked.
All right, a little bit of a unique structure to this week's show. So we actually have sort of a two-parter as for our topic, and this one is all about co-op. I thought it would be fun to talk about the times that have been most enjoyable that we've played with our friends, progressing towards the same goal. Uh, Kenny, you wrote a few games that you think have been the best co-op experiences for you. What are they?
So for me, I one of the some of the best have been Borderlands. Anytime I've ever played Borderlands with other people, it's always been enjoyable. Been a great time. Um, Dead by Daylight, it's up there as one of my favorite and most enjoyable like co-op games. It's not PvE. I know you said PvE, but it's
No,
kind
no,
of
that counts for sure because you got a bunch of people on your team.
exactly.
Yeah, whoever you're playing against is the enemy.
Exactly. They're the enemy. And MMO raids and dungeons and strikes, that everything that falls into that category, like the Destiny raid, when I did do them, the strikes are always fun. The Nightfall strikes, which are impossible to do for me for some reason. Maybe it's just because I always jump in randoms, and once you die once, they leave.
Yep,
Um,
yep. You got to find folks to play those with. Like randoms is just not gonna cut it.
and I may be returning because as of today, Shadowkeep is available on Game Pass or whatever it is.
Ooh,
The
I thought
Shadow
it got
whatever.
pushed to November.
No, it's available today, Wiley. I saw the Twitter post from Game
that's
Pass,
wild.
Xbox Game
Oh,
Pass.
okay. So you're right. Shadowkeep is the last expansion. The one coming up is Beyond Light.
Yes. So
Cool.
Shadowkeep, the last expansion, is now available on Game Pass as of today. So I be making a return to Destiny and giving it all a shot to see how it's going. Uh,
Word. I didn't want to cut you off.
No, I was gonna say, but yeah. So I was gonna, but let me hear what you were gonna say about Destiny before I say anything else about this MMO dungeons.
I am totally going to be back into Destiny. I'm just waiting for the new consoles because the load times got to be just. I didn't want to look at my phone for a minute and a half every time I went to a strike or wanted to go back to the tower, and I just I don't know. Like I just felt like I needed a fresh start. And not that I'm going to delete my character or anything, but I think just having a new platform will kind of give me that oomph to get back out there. So, and maybe I'll switch to Xbox. I mean, it's if the new stuff's going to come to Game Pass, that's certainly a good reason to.
Exactly.
So for me, my most memorable, I also got to piggyback on our Destiny talk. I think the raids in particular. Uh, I had not I'm not an MMO person. I've never been a PC gamer, so I, didn't grow up with WoW or anything like that, like some of you guys did. But the raids, I had just not experienced something that required that level of communication, that level of skill and coordination, and to a point where it's a little ridiculous. Like the fact that you can have 6 people that all are pretty good at the game, uh, that all know what their role is and can still fail 100 times in a row is kind of wild. The fact that that's like something that people enjoy,
Yeah.
uh, and finally completing the Vault of Glass, Crota's End. I haven't done all of them, but those stick out to me, and I won't forget that finally getting over that hump. And uh, so yeah, I got to say that's the first one that came to mind. Halo back in the day, playing split screen co-op with my buddies. You've seen a trend here. I think Bungie knows what they're doing as far as co-op goes. And then my third thing was just the whole summoning experience in Bloodborne and Dark Souls. Just the sort of obtuse way that they present it within the game, the way that it fits within the lore. I think that is something that's been tried to be replicated, but not to that level of success in other games since then. And yeah, that's my top 3. Anthony, I know you didn't put anything down on the paper, but you got anything that jumps out into your mind as the best times?
Best times for co-op. I wish I was more into like playing. Like I got into WoW for a bit. Like when I was in high school, like me and my good buddy Nick at the time, we were super into WoW, so we got really into it. and he was way more committed than I was. I think I stopped at like level like 50 or something. I didn't even hit like vanilla level cap, and when this is like I think the level cap started at 60, but then over time with all the
Right, that
expansions and
sounds right.
everything,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
like raised way higher than that. But I think I only like even after a couple expansions were out, we got really into when Cataclysm came out, and that was fun. I liked doing it. That was really cool. I really liked Halo 2. I have a lot of good memories growing up of like original Xbox, going over friends' houses in high school, like LAN partying together, like where you hook your Xboxes up to each other and play in the same room, but like two different little like big TVs in a friend's basement.
Totally. Yes.
All
Yeah.
swords. All swords, no like what was all bazookas, just all swords. Like I love doing silly shit like that. Like just on big maps with just only swords, or big maps with just like you got ghost and like maybe one bazooka.
Yeah, I mean that's not co-op, but it's definitely some fun thing to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the campaigns, and then even Destiny 2. Like when we did, we all got together and we were playing Destiny 2 years ago. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, remember we never beat that raid, or did
No, that
not
took
with you.
forever.
Yeah, I mean
I
I
know, we were on
eventually
it for
did with another
hours.
group, but damn, like
You're
that
trying
got
that for like 2, 3, like probably 3 hours, 4 hours.
that one encounter with the chains that
That
drop.
was so bad. That was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anything jump out to you, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean Destiny for sure. You already talked about that. Let's see other games that have good co-op experience. I know, like you were mentioning that to me off of the show how I played Spiritfarer. I mean this isn't really PvE, but it's just like co-op experience. Spiritfarer co-op with my girlfriend. That was a good time.
You played the whole game like that?
Yeah, the entire game.
That's wild.
Yeah, even so, we still apparently missed an entire character that you mentioned to me.
Yeah, you miss Buck, man. You miss the one that's most relatable to you because he's a
I
big
know.
D&D nerd.
That's crazy. I mean, other things that come to mind when I think back to the past. A cool game that I remembered playing was Army of Two. I thought that was a really cool co-op experience.
Sounds like it from the title.
Yeah. They never came out. I think they made an Army of Two, a second Army of Two, right?
Yeah. They made this. They made a second one. I think that was it. I don't know if they made a third one. I don't remember, because I remember playing the first one a little bit with my buddy Cody from high school, and that was pretty cool because I was like, oh, you can like, because what was it? You get like masks or something. You get like there's a little bit of customization. You could like customize your mask and like your gun or something. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Kenny, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned A Way Out. Is that something that still you fondly remember?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that. You know what? But it's one of those that once you get through it, it's done. It's just a linear story.
Mm-hmm.
No need to come back to it.
Ooh.
Cool. That's one I never got to, but I'd like to. Kenny, if one person buys that, can you play it with two people online?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
No.
What's
It's
up,
actually
Anthony?
it's on EA Access, so I would, if I was you, But then again, Tata doesn't have the Xbox, so. But you will be able to play it soon once the EA Access and Game Pass merge.
Word.
That's
So
cool.
you won't have to buy it.
We didn't even mention that on the show. Another big piece of news: EA Access is now coming to Game Pass. So Phil Spencer out there, not that it's just him, but he's making them moves, man.
Making the moves. I was just gonna say.
What were you gonna say, Anthony?
I totally spaced it. Gears of War. The first Gears of War, Gears of War 2, was a lot of fun to co-op that campaign.
Definitely. Yeah, I think I played maybe half of Gears of War 2 with a buddy back in my first apartment, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. So now I'd like us to suggest a game that we play together on stream, and I'll go first. Tyler, I know you got access to all the Borderlands 3 DLC. Be cool if we sometime in the next couple weeks maybe got into the most recent expansion. If not the most recent, then I've been hearing really good things about the Bounty of Blood one, which was the fourth one. So I think that could be cool. What are your thoughts?
I'd be down for that.
See, this is live reacts here. This is not planned. So
hell yeah.
Okay.
That's a good sales pitch, Wiley. I like it.
Thanks. What about you, Anthony?
I would be down for more Borderlands. I definitely didn't play enough of it. Borderlands 3. I have been wanting to. I've had the Destiny itch a while, and I did just throw it on my Xbox One not too long ago. But I did have to start over, which kind of sucked because I couldn't transfer my account.
I'm guessing you don't have the outline open, but I would like Kenny to now propose his his game.
I saw.
Oh, you do have it open?
Oh yeah.
My game is me and Anthony will get together and we
Mhm.
shall stream Untitled Goose Game.
Okay.
Co-op.
I know.
Fantastic.
I just
like
saw
that.
Xbox Game Pass just tweeted a picture of the gooses and with tomorrow posted.
Oh,
Fuck
word.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
tomorrow.
awesome. I'm down with that, man. Let's get together and kiss and play Goose.
Yeah.
How did I even play that if it wasn't on Game Pass?
No, it was. It's just the update is coming.
Ah, okay, the
co-op-
multiplayer
co-op
update.
Yep, the multiplayer
Cool.
update lands tomorrow.
Well, that's
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
exciting. Stay tuned for that. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week on the Level With You show. Please join the Discord. Find it in the description. And we'll see you next week.
Have a good week.
Bye.